welcome back to my channel. It's lovely to see you. And so for today's video I'm gonna be talking about my conditions that affect me day to day. So I made a very snazzy presentation. Well, I say it's snazzy, but it's not. It's just I've, copied and pasted. But I have left the sources that I've used. If you want to learn more and you want to read up on it, please do click them, search for them, and have a whale of a time reading. Just forewarn you, my voice is not made for ASMR, so hopefully you won't sort of snooze when you watch my presentation. So I'll leave you to it and enjoy.
My conditions explained. So this is just going to be, like I said before, a short summary video of or presentation or whatnot of my conditions and what they are, and this is my sort of understanding. But I will say that I did do a lot of copy and paste, and all the sources that I've used, like I've said before, I have left them in this presentation. So if you want to check them out, and we'll get on our way then. Okay, so these are my main conditions that heavily impact my life. The first one is, of course, hypertrophic obstructive cardiomyopathy. I double checked on my medical letters, and it's obstructive hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. You can have non-obstructive or obstructive. The second one is I've got, and please bear with me, a lot of my conditions, even though I've had them for a couple of years, it's quite hard to pronounce, okay? So I'm probably not even going to say this right, but I have paroxysmal atrial fibrillation and left bundle branch block. So that's basically to do with the electricals of the heart, but I'll go into that later. And then a nice easy one. I find this easy out of the other two, even though it's sort of everyone can suffer from it. I think that's like the most painful that I get, to be honest. But yeah, ocular migraines, they're a pain. They're an absolute pain. You know, when you're at work and you just get an ocular migraine and then that's it, you're done for the whole day. But anyway, I digress. So yeah, those are the main ones that I have. So let's go into detail for hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, aka HCM. I used to call it HOCM because I have hypertrophic obstructive cardiomyopathy. But if you do a Google search or reading books, it's sort of, I don't know, are they interchangeable or not? When I first was diagnosed, it was hypertrophic obstructive cardiomyopathy, but a lot of groups that I'm in on Facebook, it's just hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, unless that's the whole umbrella. I know cardiomyopathy is the whole umbrella terminology for it, but that's one to think about. So anyway, it's heart disease in which the heart muscle becomes abnormally thick, hypertrophied. Thick heart muscle means it's harder for blood to actually be pumped around the body. Poor little heart, just struggling. Hypertrophic cardiomyopathy can often go undiagnosed as well, because many people with the disease have few, if any, symptoms. However, on the other side of the fence, people like me, we get shortness of breath, chest pains, and problems with the heart's electrical systems. Yeah, arrhythmias. It's so annoying, arrhythmias are, but I'll go into that soon. So yeah, HCM is usually caused by abnormal genes, a gene mutation. So I've lucky to find out, I guess, that my gene mutation is MYH7, and that has caused my heart muscle to grow abnormally thick. So if you see the pic on the right, ta-da! You see a normal heart and a hypertrophic cardiomyopathy heart. And the main thing there, as you can see, if you look on the right picture, the small left ventricle, look how small and narrow that is. That's because the thickened septum or septal wall, that goes actually quite thick. That happened to me. It happens to a lot of us actually with HCM, and that's when we get an obstructed blood flow. So complications actually. Many people with HCM don't experience significant health problems, and some do. So someone could have it but not actually have any symptoms, or someone could have it all their life and never actually get diagnosed. It's weird but interesting at the same time that, I don't know, it's just some people might never know, or they do know sort of so many generations down in their family, because it's quite, it's a genetic heart disease. It is known to be genetic, to do with genetics. You wouldn't know until you're like, oh, okay, you go to the doctor and they've said you've got a murmur or you need to go for tests, and then you're like, wait a minute. So yeah, that can happen. But for me, I've either experienced, or I still do experience, the following. So atrial fibrillation, I get that. It is a symptom. Some people can develop it, some people don't. I've recently developed it. I've had it since, I think, for 2 years now, but I will probably do a whole video on atrial fibrillation on my AFib buddy, because me and AFib, we don't get on, okay? And at the moment, me and AFib are in fights. A lot of the time, we are arguing and we're in fights. I'm actually, at the moment, heavily medicated to reduce my AFib attacks. I also have had obstructed blood flow. For that, though, I did have open heart surgery, which I'll do a whole video. I said to myself, I'm going to do it. It might be emotional, but down the line, I've grown with it and I've accepted certain things, and I will do a video on that, because people down the line want to know, what do you expect in it? And I can offer you my experiences and what I learned about it all, and what I learned about myself, essentially. And that the main thing I got from that was I had a really good family network. Without them, I probably, who knows, I probably wouldn't, be here or something. But I'll make a video on that down the line. And then also you could get, apologies if I don't pronounce it right. I know every time I go to the hospital and I'm in the doctor's appointment, I can never say the words. I'm literally, before I go in, I'm there like looking on the phone, like, right, what can I talk about? Right, this and that. Like, if you do have a health condition, everyone should read up on what you have, research it so much that when you walk into that doctor's office, you know what they're talking about. Because at the end of the day, sometimes a lot of us, what I think, and this is my view only, that we are guinea pigs. That they don't know what's going to happen to us, that they're not guessing, but they're like, we'll try this, hopefully this will work because it worked for A, B and C, but you're X and Y, so you know what I mean? So always go in there knowing what to ask or what to say. That's my only advice. You can take it or not, but I always do that. But yeah, it doesn't help that I can't say certain words. So yeah, my mitral valve, I think I've said it right. Mine was basically, it was on its way out. So they replaced my valve with a mechanical one. At the time, I was very young, and I know sometimes they replace your mitral valve with either a pig's valve or a mechanical one. And I don't know if this is true or not, but I have noticed that a lot of elderly will get a pig valve, and a lot of the young will get a mechanical valve, because the mechanical valve lasts longer. I don't know if it's speculation on my part, but yeah, okay. I mean, yeah, but anyway. Yeah, so that is hypertrophic cardiomyopathy in sort of a generalized summary. All this information, if you see at the bottom, I got it off mayoclinic.org. You can visit that website. The reason why I use this website is back in the day when I was first diagnosed, they actually had a lot of information on there. I know the British Heart Foundation, their website, they have information, but once upon a time, a lot of these websites didn't have all this information. So I really had to search around everywhere just to find this out. And then there was some really old books that were it looked like they were written a while ago, and you're like, what now? But I got all my information off there, so you can see I've put the links down there. I'll pop them in the description box. But that is HCM. Okay. Okay, so next on the list is my buddy, my friend, my everything. No, they're not. It's atrial fibrillation time. So AF, AFib, atrial fibrillation. It's got so many nicknames. It's an irregular and often fast heart rhythm. It's a known arrhythmia where actually a lot of people from lots of groups that I'm in, again, for me, I join Facebook groups. I'm in so many, and just reading about other people's experiences has actually helped me to gain more insight. And sometimes everyone's different, but it helps a lot, I think, ultimately. But yeah, AFib, seems a lot of people, from what I've seen, can get this. So that kind of, I guess in a weird way, makes me feel like, oh, I'm definitely not alone. So yeah, normally the heart's natural pacemaker sends out regular electrical impulses. AFib happens when impulses also fire off from different places in the atria, the top chambers of the heart, in a disorganized way. These impulses override the heart's natural pacemaker, which can no longer control the heart rhythm, causing your pulse to be irregular. I got that from the British Heart Foundation website. Links there if you want to click it. I'll pop it in the comment box as well. But that ultimately is it. It's irregular heart rhythms, and it's a pain. But also, I forgot to say, with HCM, hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, we're actually at risk of, I am, of VT, ventricular tachycardia. The difference of that and AFib is that tachycardia, ventricular tachycardia, it goes really, really fast, and unfortunately, it can go dangerously fast that it can cause sudden death. So that's that high risk there. But as a lot of us have a lot of sort of things in place, a lot of management plans in place. Some of us will have medication, some of us will have pacemakers or have ICDs. We've got lots of things in place to ensure that that doesn't happen, or if it does happen, we're quickly seen to, But yeah, back to AFib. It's irregular. And then moving on to left bundle branch block, LBBB. It's a blockage of electrical impulses to the heart's left ventricle. I googled this just to find out properly. It sounds terrible. I just Google all my conditions. No, I mean, over time I know what they are, and I know what to say to the health clinician. I've got this. Left bundle branch block, though, that was actually caused from my open heart surgery. I had septal myectomy. I hope I've said that right. That's where they opened me up, and they made sure that my septal wall was, they made it less thick, because it was so thick I kept passing out, fainting and stuff. So because of that, this was the result, LBBB. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. But ultimately, even though I found out that that was the cause of it, was I angry? No. Why? Because the results weighed out more than the risk. The risk was I could get left bundle branch block. I did get it. But, the result is I'm still here, sort of thing. So if anything, it's okay, and I've accepted that. But left bundle branch block, it is a heart block, I think. No, God, I sound terrible. This is why I put down, if you do need any medical advice, do not come to me, because I am not medically trained. You seek out a medical personnel. Okay, I can just pop up links and for people to read and tell you my experiences. Even I myself, I'm still learning. I don't think I'll ever stop learning with my condition. But basically, yeah, that's what I have. I didn't do a slide for ocular migraines. That just says it all. Just they're a pain. Still trying to find out my triggers for that. So far I know it's heat, lack of sleep. I don't even eat chocolate anymore. Caffeine, alcohol, lots of those are triggers for me. I get ocular migraines, and I've had it once where I've had I felt really poorly, where I had ocular migraines, and I had AFib as well, and it was just all horrendous. But I don't want to end it on such a low note. But yeah, so those are my conditions that I have. There's no cure for them. I will have them till the day I am ready to, be old and ready to go and stuff. But all we can do is, even though there's no cure, all we can do for me is just ensure I have the correct things in place, medication, ICD, which yes, I do have an ICD, my own internal defibrillator, and I'm on lots of medication. I will do a separate video on those because I do think they deserve their own video because they're a lot to take in. I mean, I'm going to end this on, imagine having a defibrillator implant and you have to go to band practice. Yeah, so you've got to be wary of all the electricals. I think I will make a video on that. I do know that the only other rock star out there is Slash, and I read an article that he actually experienced getting defibbed and carried on playing, but was very poorly. So my hat goes off to him because I've been defibbed, and I will make a whole video on that because I didn't carry on singing on stage. It was quite very serious and not that great, but I'm still standing, I'm still sitting here, and I want to share that sort of experience with you guys.
I hope you enjoyed the presentation and you stuck around because the fun bit has arrived. It's quiz time. No, I'm kidding. There's no quiz. There will be next week. But anyway, hopefully you learned a lot about what my conditions are. I really did generalize a lot of it. Again, there's resources on the internet you can look for. And so on that note, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. In the wild.